I'm sure you've heard the news. Einstein is everywhere. Beat. But did you know he was once written off at school? Beat. This is the story of a mind that refused to stay small. Picture a young student's stubborn questions. Awkward in class, labeled a failure. Beat. Instead of stopping, he wondered deeper about light motion time. Beat. He tore up old rules and gave us relativity time that bends space, that curves gravity as geometry. Beat.
You need to watch this if you're labeled slow. You need to watch this if you're labeled weird. You need to watch this if school told you to memorize, instead of encouraging wonder. You need to watch this because a small compass changed everything, for one curious child who stared at it. Albert Einstein wasn't the loud kid in class. He was famously slow to speak as a child. His family worried he might be intellectually delayed, but what looked like a setback was a brain warming up. He loved solitude, not to be antisocial, but to think. Quiet time became his thinking time and refuge. When he was a child, his father showed him a simple compass. Einstein stared at that tiny needle and felt something click, a hidden order in the world that didn't need memorizing. That moment sparked a lifelong scientific obsession. Find the rules beneath the rules. School didn't help his curiosity. He hated rote memorization. He hated traditional drills. Teachers valued repetition. Einstein valued asking questions more than answers. He rebelled against the learn-by-heart approach, and he chased understanding over memorizing facts. Delayed speech that made him seem slow. A love of solitude that fed his thinking. A mesmerized child staring at the compass. A disdain for memorization and empty facts. These traits didn't hold him back. It made him a rebel thinker who reimagined physics. If you're quiet, you're not less capable. If you're slow to speak, you still think deeply. If you're bored by memorizing facts, chase wonder. Remember, some minds simply work differently, and that difference can change the world. Rebel versus rote. Pick curiosity over memorizing.
You need to watch this if you struggle with being bad at everything. What Einstein actually failed at might surprise you. It's not a story about talent. It's a story about relentless questions. Everybody imagines Einstein as born with a lab coat and perfect grades. Wrong. He hated rote rules and authority, argued with teachers, and was effectively expelled from one school because he refused to follow their way of thinking. Then he failed the entrance exam to the Swiss Polytechnic on his first try. Math was fine, but other subjects tripped him up. He didn't become famous overnight. He worked odd jobs, kept asking uncomfortable questions, and focused on what he loved, math and physics. That focus, combined with stubborn independence, let him rethink space, time, and gravity. The takeaway: not being great at everything and disagreeing with the status quo can actually fuel original thinking. So, if you're messy, stubborn, or failing a class, maybe you're just mid-Einstein.
Albert Einstein, a patent office clerk, a boring government job, reviewing inventions he didn't care about, but he used the quiet of the work to think. While on the job, he imagined strange ideas about light and time, ideas he had no time to explore anywhere else. 1905, the miracle year. In that single year, Einstein published papers that changed physics forever, while he was still just a simple employee.
You need to hear this if you're a commuter. You need to hear this if you're a gamer. You need to hear this if you love going fast. Time slows down the faster you move. Literally. Also, energy and mass are secret twins. Think of time like a stretchy rubber band. Speed tugs it. Go near light speed and your seconds stretch out. For you, less time passes than for someone standing still. Now, MC2, energy equals mass times light speed squared. That's saying mass is just tightly packed energy. Even a tiny bit of mass holds huge energy, because C2 is enormous. Moving changes how you age by tiny amounts, turning mass into energy power stars, turning mass into energy powers nukes. Relativity. Weird. Relativity? Simple. Relativity is part of the same world you live in. Gravity is not a force, but a shape the universe takes, a hidden geometry we fall along, but a curvature in the fabric of the universe. Mass tells space how to curve, and space tells matter how to move. The fabric and ball analogy. It shows why paths bend near mass, why light can be deflected, and why orbits precess and decay. It is an analogy, not the thing itself, but it points us close. The prediction of black holes, regions where curvature becomes so extreme that nothing, not even light, escapes. The confirmation of the theory, years later, ripples in space-time detected, a shadow imaged across a cosmic distance, and the universe, curved, revealed.
This is why you need curiosity in your life. It's not about being polished. It's about being honest. Meet the man who traded rules for a violin and a wild imagination. He hated formalities, ties, scripted greetings, handshake etiquette, all nonsense to him. Instead, he'd walk in barefoot, laugh first, explain never. He forgot addresses because he remembered moments, a sunset, a joke, the way a melody made someone breathe easier. He loved the violin like a secret language, fingers chasing stories where words failed. People thought his quirks were flaws. They were the opposite. His forgetfulness forced him to live in the present. His disregard for rules let him bend the world into new shapes. The payoff? Ideas that outlived any neat resume. As he put it, imagination is more important than knowledge. Let that sit with you. Maybe ditch one rule today, pick up something you love, and see what you remember.
Einstein was a pacifist. The guy with the wild hair, the MC2 meme, marching against war and speaking for peace. And yet, his signature helped unleash the most dangerous weapon in history. Here's the paradox. In 1939, physicists realized uranium could split and release staggering energy. Nazi Germany had brilliant scientists and a head start. Leo Szilard, terrified of a Hitler bomb, drafted a letter. He needed a name the White House would not ignore. Einstein signed. That letter landed on President Roosevelt's desk. It warned a new kind of bomb was possible, and that Germany might get there first. Roosevelt authorized research that became the Manhattan Project. Einstein never worked on it. He didn't hold the security clearance, and his expertise wasn't in bomb design. But his letter opened the door. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. The war ended, but the world changed. Einstein felt the weight of it. He said that if he had known Germany would fail to build the bomb, he wouldn't have lifted a finger. He spent the rest of his life trying to put the genie back in the bottle. He co-founded the Emergency Committee of Atomic Scientists, urging public understanding and calling for control of nuclear power. He pushed for international cooperation, even world government, to prevent future wars. And in 1955, he signed the Russell-Einstein Manifesto, calling on humanity to remember your humanity and forget the rest. So, was Einstein a hypocrite or a human being trapped in a terrifying timeline, choosing the lesser evil to stop a greater one? Pacifism isn't naivete, it's a compass. In 1939, his compass pointed to warning a president. After 1945, it pointed to warning the world. That's the paradox, and maybe the lesson. Knowledge gives us power and responsibility. From refugee to world icon, yet he turned down a crown. Moment 1. The move. In 1933, as darkness spread across Europe, Albert Einstein left Germany for the United States. He landed in Princeton, traded turmoil for a quiet office, and kept doing the thing he loved, thinking. He wasn't just a scientist now. He became a symbol of conscience, a voice for refugees, and a loudspeaker for peace. Moment 2. The offer. In 1952, the newly formed State of Israel offered him its presidency. Imagine asking a world-famous scientist to swap equations for ceremonies. Einstein politely declined. He said he lacked the natural aptitude and skills for politics, preferring instead to remain an independent moral compass. That refusal wasn't apathy, it was honesty. He chose influence without title. Moment 3. The farewell. On April 18, 1955, Einstein died in Princeton. He left behind papers, theories, and a way of thinking that outlived him. One legacy. The idea that greatness doesn't need a throne. He moved countries to escape hate, said no to power he didn't want, and trusted that ideas can change the world more than titles ever could. End line. So next time you see his face on a t-shirt, remember, the man who reshaped science also reshaped what it means to stand by your principles.
Einstein was not only one of the smartest humans, he was someone who dared to think differently. The real question is not, how smart was he? But why did we stop asking questions?